Alrighty, here we go. Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Monday Coffee with the Doll. I am your hostess, the doll with the coffee. In case you didn't figure that out yet. So before we get into this episode, I kind of left you guys with a little bit of a cliffhanger yesterday, talking about this mug, and if you wanted to see what was on the back of it, because there was something on the back of it, you were going to have to watch the show today. So let me explain a little bit first. This mug was sent to me by my Instagram friends, Forever Above Me. It is a brand. Their tagline is Rep Your Influence, because they like to embrace the things that make them who they are. And I think that that's a beautiful thing, and I think that it's a huge thing that we all should really try to focus more on. And that's pretty much what this brand focuses on. They're based out of Arizona. They're kind of a punk rock based brand. That's what gave them the energy to get them going. And they have a really interesting story. They create some really cool merchandise, but they contacted me on Instagram and they were like, hey, we want to send you one of our mugs, but we want to make it kind of cool for you. Is there something special you want on it? Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Can you guys see that? It's probably backwards for you, so it's not so easy. But they put on my mug, these are the days that fill your week. Make them amazing, Emily Doll. It says what I say at the end of my show every week, and I thought that was so awesome to put it on a coffee mug because it's such a positive saying. And every morning when you're getting your fresh kick in the face by your caffeine, you're also getting some positivity poured down your throat. Isn't that awesome? So my friends at Forever Above Me are the ones that made this and sent this to me. It's the sweetest gift. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are really going to have to check them out. I really love what they stand for. Really, really. I feel like I've said really, really lot. But yeah, I think that it's really great when you can find brands that not only put out cool product that you can enjoy, but they kind of have a really good backbone to them. They're ran by good people and they have a really great message. And that's kind of what I want to do with my brand, is that I want to be that kind of brand that not only provides beauty and style and awesome things for you guys, but I have a really good message behind the art that I put out there, and that's what Forever Above Me kind of does. So I hope that you guys check them out. I'm gonna put the links for their socials in the description, and then you guys can see them for yourself. Tell them I said what's up. Okay? All right. Let's get into the show. Okay, so this week we are talking about anxiety, basically. I thought I would do an anxiety check-in because a lot of you guys follow me because I am so open with the deeper depths of my personal life, which can at times be pretty dark. So I think that the platform that I have, that my modeling in the beginning gave me, really gave me a lot of other opportunities to talk more about things that really affect the world and really change the world and really help people, instead of just saying, hey, here's a really badass photo I took by a really badass photographer. I love that. That's my art. But there's always been more to the vintage doll, even before I kind of started just directing it more towards Emily Doll. And that's always been, to just embrace yourself and be open and be confident. And it's been an interesting journey for me because although I've always preached that message to all of you, it's not something that I applied or lived every day in my life. I'm definitely somebody who struggles with a lot of different things that some people would be really, really surprised to hear that I even struggle with.
Oh, please, Emily, tell us more about all of your personal problems. We want to know more.
Oh, it's so nice of you to ask. But let me tell you. So I struggle with a lot of different things. I struggle with anxiety. I had my first panic attack in 3rd grade. I didn't know that it was a panic attack. I grew up with people thinking that I had asthma, even though I never was diagnosed with asthma or taken to a doctor to be seen for asthma. Anytime I had an attack, it was always qualified as an asthma attack, and my family would give me those Primatene Mist Medihalers that you can get like over the counter at Walgreens. And I don't remember it ever helping. I just remember, I think a lot of it was mental. I was a kid, so when I would do it, I would make myself think, well, okay, I have asthma. I'm better now. But it never was a solution. Things like that just kept happening. But that's what I was told, was that you probably have asthma. So I went with it. I was a kid. I didn't question it. But really, in 3rd grade, what I had was my very first ever panic attack. And it was really scary. And my counselor told me that it was probably just because I wanted attention and I was acting out because the 2 people in my life, my grandma and my mom, that I loved more than anything, were fighting. What? Attention? Needless to say, it was a really difficult experience for me when I was in 3rd grade. That's hard. You're little, but I survived. I kept moving on. And the older I got, I was homeschooled. I was very sheltered, I lived one of those lifestyles where it was just everything was kept from me. Worldly music was bad, boys were bad, cursing was bad, going out to have fun was bad, everything was just bad. So I was very sheltered, and I think that when I got into my first relationship and my anxiety and depression worsened and I was in an abusive relationship, that person just told me I was crazy, I wanted attention. Again, I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. I just needed to learn to be happy with the life that I had. Just all kinds of bullshit. And I never coped with it. I never learned what it was. I just always tried my best to function, and in turn, never actually headed down a road to managing my anxiety and getting ready to face depression, which I didn't know I was going to get. So recently in my past experiences, in my recent past experiences, not really far back, because I really don't think that it's important for me to touch on that, but recently I've come to notice that, depression is definitely a really big part of my life. And the older I got, the more it started to kind of seep in, and I was starting to feel all of its spiny little evil fingers. And it was scary. It was scary because I was going through so many different emotional situations that when you throw depression and anxiety on top of it, it's I can't function. There's no way. I can't do this. You're out of your minds. I'm out. I'm not doing it. I can't. Sorry. Nope. Bye. And then on top of that, I recently went through a situation that targeted my anxiety and my depression and tried to paint me as somebody that was delusional and crazy and unfit to take care of her kids. And that's a really scary thing, and I think that that's something that everybody, or at least most people with anxiety and depression as parents, deal with. You don't ever want your mental illness to be used against you to try and paint you as weak. I sought out help for my anxiety and my depression because I knew I wasn't the best mom that I could be. And that was my goal. My goal has always been to be the best parent that I could be. And I knew that I was losing grasp on myself and on a healthy state of mind. And most of this was all through last summer, was really when I reached that peak. And I sought out a doctor for help because, it was just becoming overwhelming. And a coworker of mine, my little sales guy, Zach, when I worked at the Indian bike shop, he found me crying at work and he told me, he's like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's okay to go seek help. You need to go and do what you need to do. And that's why you're brave. And he was right, and he deals with anxiety and depression and has been on all different kinds of medications, I believe. So I think that is something that he probably understands. I could be 100% wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's something that he's dealt with. He was really knowledgeable in it, but he was a smart cookie. So anywho's it. I did seek help, and I did contact a doctor who talked to me, and she told me the same thing. She's like, you're not crazy, and there's nothing wrong with you, and you're not a bad mom, and you're not a bad parent. You just, you need some help, and that's okay to need help. And the fact that you're asking for help means that you're willing to do what it takes to make things as good as they can be for your family. So I kind of rolled with that, and I went through a few different medications before I kind of found a balance. And I kind of lost touch, I think, with myself. I felt like I had so much to prove, and I felt like I had to be this vocal lioness who was just like, this is who I am, you can't mess with me, I'm brave, I'm tough, I can handle, whatever you throw at me. And I think it was just a way for me to deflect the pain and the lostness that I was going through at the time. But, it took a while. It was a sea of just drowning most of the way, and then all of a sudden it was like I found this little teeny log, and I climbed up on it, and I was like holding on, or it was like I had a straw, like a coffee stir stick. It was just a little bit of hope. That's what it was at first, and that's all it took, right? That's all it took. And I've been trying to find a balance and an adjustment ever since that point. So recently, over the past few months, I've just been really working on finding what works for me. I tried to get off my prescription, and I tried to just use natural supplements and natural medicines to kind of balance myself out. And it seemed to kind of help a little bit, but it didn't. I could feel myself losing myself again, like slowly but surely. So I knew that wasn't the way to go, that sometimes you just need to accept that you need help in the form of a medication, and you shouldn't see it as the bad guy or your enemy. You should embrace that and be like, these are my little magic sprinkles that help me walk out my life in the best way possible. They're my little superhuman buddies that kind of help me cope and carry me through the world. They're my support system. They're a part of what keeps me going. And instead of seeing this as a negative, I kind of decided to get back on them, and I did that along with all of the natural medications that I was taking. I do a lot of CBD oils. I do a lot of different hemp products and things like that as well. And a lot of symptoms that I've struggled with have improved. I've gotten better. And my anxiety and depression has definitely leveled back out. And a situation that I went through recently over Christmas and into the new year, which I'm not going to get into, but it was a really terrifying situation, and it did involve jeopardizing my children, because I was painted to be something that I wasn't, and I did have to fight for a little bit for my kids, but that's over and done with, and we had victory, so but that situation did question all of the things that I do to make sure that I'm the best mom and the best, significant other and the best teammate I can be and the best me that I can be. And all of that was taken away from me because, as soon as you get questioned, as soon as, you get made to feel crazy, you get made to feel like your depression and your anxiety is a negative part of you instead of just another part of you. And you really do start to panic. And for a few months, I struggled. I did. I struggled. I kind of went back into I don't know what my point is. I can't keep doing this. I felt alone. I felt worthless. I felt like I wasn't good enough for anybody. I felt like I was just a burden. And when you have anxiety and depression, it's like everything that you go through is escalated. Like it's 10 times worse. So, you know, everything in my head was just very suffocating and very scary, but I had to keep focused. You know, I think that we all get put through situations sometimes where we have to question the direction that we're taking, and it might challenge, you know, the direction that we've chosen. And it kind of makes you question that path, and you're like, well, maybe this isn't the path that I'm supposed to be on. Why are these things happening? And you just have to keep a straight mind and an open heart, and kind of really receive whatever's going on in your life, and then allow yourself to absorb it, break it down, and see what's best for you. And if that's the path that you're already on, then you need to continue down that path. Don't let, you know, anything outside of that tell you, well, you shouldn't go that way, or make you question it. Your heart knows where you're going, and that's what you need to trust. So you know, it was hard for me to get through that little bumpy road, but once I got through it, I'm here, and I am going, oh my God, I'm stronger, and I'm braver, and I feel like I've conquered something massive in my life, and here I am, a survivor of yet another horrible thing. And I can look back at that next time and say, if I could survive that, I can survive this, and just use it as another inspirational tool to get me through the harder patches of the days or weeks, or whenever I'm having my moments, you know? Anxiety and depression is just a part of our lives. You're not alone with it. I'm not alone with it. No one's alone with it. It doesn't make us special. It doesn't make us unique. It's just a part of who we are. And I think that if we all start accepting anxiety and depression as things that can be addressed and helped and supported, instead of hidden and shamed, you know, they're no different than anything else that we deal with on a daily basis. And I think that the more we start trying to deal with them, thinking and taking them as a just another part of our life, instead of this big negative monster, I think that it's going to be a lot easier to get past. So as far as my anxiety and my depression goes, every day is a learning experience. It's a battle, it's a struggle, it's a victory. You know, it's always something, but it's a part of my life. And anxiety and depression share a lot of the memories that I have, and some are good and some are bad. And that's just how it's going to continue. And I can either just succumb to all of the horribleness that these things can cause me, or I can just show him who's boss and ride out the tough times so I can really, really enjoy all the good times that I have, because I have a lot of good times in between some of the rougher ones. All right, that's all I have. I'm done. So remember, these are the days that fill your week. Make them amazing. Show them who's boss, and stab them with your unicorn horn. That's what I would do. But remember, I'm Emily Doll. I love your faces, and I will see you next week. So keep on keeping on, my little love monkeys. Did you like that video? Did ya? Well, if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up before you leave, and feel free to subscribe to my channel by dinging that bell. That way you don't miss out on any more Monday Coffee with the Doll or anything else that goes on here, because it can get crazy. Make sure that you check out my friends at Forever Above Me. I'll make sure that all their links are below, and I think that's it. So I love you. I'll see you later.